our viewers 29th should be listening to people like you, and when you talk and how critical is security in this country. But let me come back to what our viewers have been calling and talking about, February 25 and March 18. How can we get them? How can they get over this? How can Nigerians get over what happened on those 2 dates? How can we restore back the people's sanity? Because a lot of people seems to be losing their minds on those 2 dates. Justice, you want to share?
Okay, for me, to a large extent, I think we usually have, when it's lengthy and we don't retain it on the front burner, we usually suffer the amnesia of what happened the last time. But it looks like with what happened this time,
it's lingering. It doesn't seem like it's
not going away.
It's being blown away.
It's not even going away. This one is not going away. We pray that it remains so, both at the tribunal and the events at the tribunal, because this is the first time a presidential candidate actually sued at the tribunal, and people are interested in the papers that he filed, and everybody is voraciously reading it. I have also read it. I'm also at the Election Petition Tribunal for some other levels of election, and those materials are very, very important to a person like me. So I think that we should keep it on the front burner. We should keep saying that what happened on the 18th and on the 25th of February and March were an aberration to this country. And in order to move forward, we must remind whoever gets political positions pursuant to those elections, that the charade of elections are held on those days, that they are not as legitimate as they are thinking they are, so that in the event that they want to make reparations, whatever election they are going to conduct next should be much more than, I almost said a bit more, but if it's a bit more, it's still in the gutters. So it has to be substantially much more than what was conducted in the last time, because what was conducted in the last time was a total shame.
I want you to speak to your constituency on how critical resolving this, since we have come. This is where we are now. The polls have failed to give us an answer. And now the gauntlet, the baton is on their, it's with them.
If you say my constituency, I want to believe you're talking about lawyers.
Yes, I'm talking about
We're looking at you guys.
Let me tell you the difficulty of our case.
What kind of weight do they carry now? They carry the future of this nation.
The difficulty of our case and the difficulty of our calling and training is that we present the best evidence that we have. And one thing I usually tell people is, it's only God that has the capacity to know the truth. The judge or the tribunal or the set of judges were not there.
I disagree. I wasn't there. I saw it on TV, and it wasn't doctored. It was real.
No.
I saw the videos.
Okay, Mr. Let me pack it up.
Wait, they can go out. They can go out.
Let me pack it up.
For the sake of national interest. Look, for the sake of national interest, I don't know if you agree with me, Ambassador. They can go their way to search for the truth.
No, it's not their calling.
It's not
to go out of their way. It's not their calling to use TV broadcast.
Okay.
So whatever, they have to decide on cold, hard facts in order to be able to arrive at a decision. The major challenge that I have with respect to cold, hard facts is INEC as an organization is not supposed to be a defendant in all electoral matters, and I'll unpack this now. If I am to sue the party that won, whether or otherwise, or violence or otherwise, I have to sue the person and sue INEC. So it means that the person that stole the elections and INEC will be on the same team.
On the same team, okay.
And if they're on the same team, there are documents that I need from INEC.
That will readily be, okay, you will not be able to, you might
I
not
won't be able to get, they will get the best lawyers to argue. INEC will get the best lawyers that they can afford. Of course, they talked about 3 billion.
3 billion.
That they can afford to argue that they did the right things. They will produce those documents. We will do our best to try to get the best documents from INEC. but they may not be as cooperating as they possibly
like
can.
we see in Rivers State.
Like we see in Rivers, like we are seeing with the Court of Appeal case where they didn't allow Labour Party to inspect documents. So going forward, we should amend our laws to ensure that INEC is a neutral arbiter. They are not a party that is actually also sued in the manner that it currently is. I'm not alone in this line of thinking. I think Dr. Lisa Agbakoba, senior advocate, also has this line of thinking because it was contained in the Uwais report. You may not know how significant this is until you are in the fray. Because if you are in the fray, you see that the person who is supposed to be neutral is actually now meeting. They are having collective meetings on how not to lose the case. Because if INEC is losing the case, it will mean that they will lose credibility. And because the ego of INEC is involved, the person who is suing them may not get the best deal from INEC.
Thank you very much.
You see, this is what we said. No,
Yeah.
this is what I said, check and balances.
Yeah.
Check and balances.